A new study revealing an alarmingly high rate of CTE in teens and young adults who played contact sports. According to Boston University, the brain disease was found in over 40% of kids, high schoolers, and college athletes who were exposed to repetitive blows to their head, primarily from playing football, and who ultimately died before the age of 30. Now, keep in mind the rate of CTE consistently diagnosed among the general population is less than 1%, and CTE can only be discovered once a person has died. Correspondent Alex Caprariello joins us live. So, Alex, what more do we know about these new findings?
Yeah, hey there, Nicole. Up to this point, so much of the research when it comes to CTE has focused on professional sports and NFL players, right? But what we're learning now about neurodegenerative disease and CTE is coming from young athletes, right? High schoolers and the likes, college players that participate in contact sports like football, soccer, rugby, ice hockey, and the like. For this study, more than 150 brains were donated, and more than 40% of them actually showed those early signs of CTE. Researchers at Boston University examined those brains of the athletes, specifically from 13 to 29 years old, and were able to correlate their participation in sports to brain trauma associated with that disease. While not all contact sport athletes had symptoms of CTE, nearly half of those that died early did. There were also groundbreaking discoveries in the athlete's cause of death. Suicide and unintentional overdose were common ways that these young people died, although the researchers emphasized that there's no specific relationship between the cause of death and the presence of CTE. Today on Morning in America, NewsNation's Marky Martin spoke with Dr. Tom Pitts, who says families should pay attention to studies just like these when deciding what sports they sign their kids up for.
It's a very serious problem, and it basically says, hey, parents, when you sign your kids up for a repetitive head injury sport, you basically have signed them up for a neurodegenerative disease.
And these researchers actually diagnosed CTE in the first American woman athlete. That's a 28-year-old college soccer player. According to this research, she suffered at least 2 different concussions while competing, and it was only 4 years after that when she started to develop suicidal thoughts and paranoia, and that young woman ended up taking her own life. Nicole?
All right, I hate to hear that, Alex. And you mentioned in your reporting there, sports in addition to football were studied here. So how does someone suffer head trauma in sports that are not traditionally those contact type of sports?
Right. When I've been speaking to doctors all morning about this, they tell me that that's actually a great misconception, that football is the one and only contact sport that leads to concussions and CTE. But what I actually was surprised to learn is that soccer is actually the #1 sport in America associated with concussion risk. And there's a few reasons for that. Number one is really soccer athletes don't have any sort of protective gear. They don't have the helmets and the shoulder players that football players have. And at the same time, they're still prone to the same sort of whiplash and falls to the ground that other contact sports have. So sports like soccer really do have an increased risk of contact and of potential concussions. And so really it's a really hard look that parents need to make when signing up their kids for any sports, and make sure that the pros outweigh the cons, and potentially looking at research like this when making that decision.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.